Hey everyone, and welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now, before we get into today's game hunt and today's video, just like to say a massive thank you to everyone, all the new subscribers, all the old subscribers that have stuck with me since the inception of the channel. It's much appreciated, and I've got plenty more content coming your way with some brand new ideas as well that I'll be premiering during the latter part of 2025. Now, if you'd like to support the channel in any sort of way, we do offer a small membership that begins from 99 pence a month. It's not mandatory, it's just something if you'd like to help out. Now, also, we've got a Facebook group over, obviously, on Facebook that's growing slowly but surely. It's a great little group over there with some great people. We discuss video games, we put deal of the day, we talk about random retro games, all sorts. It's a safe space. Come over there, feel free to talk about video games, retro stuff in general. I'll leave the link to both of what I've just mentioned below in the video description. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching as always, and let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel and Whizbit's Random Gaming. Now, I'm only heading local today as something popped up that's on my wish list on the CEX app, and one of my locals has got it. So here I am today down at Dagenham Heathway. Bit of a grimy CEX, as I've always said, but it's never really let me down. I've still picked up some fantastic stuff in this shop over the years. Now, I'm looking for something in particular today. It's a PlayStation 2 game. As you would have seen from the thumbnail, it's a Tekken game, but one that I've never seen before. Now, as we head straight to the window, you see that PlayStation 5 Anniversary Edition controller there. Ridiculously overpriced. Let's not kid ourselves here. As much as I like it, I won't be picking it up, not at that price. And I don't think you'll ever get a decent deal on that kind of item. Now, I really like this Xbox series, or is it Xbox One? I would imagine that is, isn't it? The Gears of War edition. It's really nice. Not something I've got room for at the moment, but yeah, I wouldn't mind having something like that in the collection. Now, the whole VR gaming, I want to get into it a bit more. It's a lot of family fun. I just don't know where to start. I've got the PS4 VR, but it's an absolute pain in the nutsack to set up. Now, guys, if you happen to know or give me your opinions on what you think is probably the cheapest and best way to get into handheld VR, or handless, shall we say, VR, let me know in the comments below, as it is something I'd like to get the family involved in. We've had some fun times with the PS4 version, but like I say, it's just an absolute pain to set up. Now, that is quite the array of Nintendo Switches that we have here, but then that is the case in pretty much every CEX you're going to step foot into. If you want a Nintendo Switch, yeah, CEX is always going to have you covered. It's the same with Joy-Cons. Now, I've seen a lot of these boxed Xbox controllers recently in CEXs, and what I've come to work out, and someone has later confirmed to me, is that as it's a franchise owner, they will buy in their own stock brand new occasionally. Now, speaking of expensive controllers, there's another one, the Astrobot one. I really like that, and I would love to have it, but you know what? No way, not £130. Nice to see an Evercade in the window there, although technically it's not an Evercade, it's a Hyper Megatech Super Pocket. Yeah, some mouthful that is. But it plays Evercade cartridges, and it's made by Blaze. It's basically Evercade's way of trying to get you into the system, their ecosphere, with a very small budget. Now, nice to see the Wingman converter in there. You don't see those things too often, but you know what? At £40, now I'm not certain on this as I film this video, or I swear they're £40 brand new. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to look at that. Although that particular Wingman converter isn't one I need. Now there's one that I need for the subset. However, the game itself is absolutely filthy. I won't be picking that copy of Jax 2 up today. I'll have to look for alternative versions. Now I'm browsing the PlayStation 2 section here. I can't find the game that I'm looking for. However, this King of Fighters here, I don't know if I've got this one. I'm confused all the time with the amount of King of Fighters games that I do own. I'm not going to take the risk today. It's quite easily available, that particular version. So yeah, if I do miss out, it's quite easy to come back and pick it up. So yeah, as I said, I'm going to continue to browse the PlayStation 2 section for this Tekken game that I'm looking for. One that I've never played, and I don't think I've actually ever seen it in person. It's £28, so it shouldn't technically be behind the counter, because I think the threshold for that is £40 games go behind the counter. So yeah, it should be behind here. But maybe where it's quite obscure, maybe that's why they feel the need to put it behind the counter. I'll soon find out as I make my way over towards the end of the video. Now there's a series of games that I really would like to see a remaster of, and that's the Splinter Cell games. If you ask me, Sam Fisher gave Solid Snake a real run for his money back in the day. Some of the games were on a par with Metal Gear, if you ask me, and I'd love to see the franchise reborn. Now it's all pretty much dead weight here on the PlayStation 2, so let's pop over and have a look at the PlayStation 3. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna say the same. Nothing that really catches my eye today. But saying that, I've said it again, time and time again rather. I'm quite fussy with what I pick up on the PlayStation these days, the PlayStation 3 that is. Due to a lack of space, but not just that, I think most of the games that I primarily wanted when I set out to rebuild my collection, I've already got. And the ones that I don't have are really mega expensive, to be quite honest. And whilst I will pick them up at some point, that's all about timing. Now the Little Big Planet games, you know something, for platformers, and I love platformers, I've never really been able to get into the Little Big Planet games. Not like I would a Mario or something similar, you know, a franchise platformer. I just can't get into them. They're really good games, I know it deep down, but I've never really been grabbed, never been drawn in by the whole premises of the game. Now let's kick on over to the PlayStation 4. Again, I'm always looking for obscurities on the PlayStation 4. I know they're out there. You just got to dig deep. Most shops have got a fantastic, huge array of PlayStation games. But you've got to look for something different. Like this game here, I don't even know what it is. Now, I did have a look at the back of it. I do recall that, and it wasn't a game that I really wanted. Not my kind of genre, but that's the games I'm looking for. Ones that I'm not too familiar with, or ones that you don't see every day in your high street shops, shall we say. Now, Guilty Gear here. £8, that's actually quite a good buy. I do like the Guilty Gear games. It's not my preferred fighting franchise by a long shot. I'm not very good at them, to be quite honest with you, especially when I'm playing a live opponent, shall we say. Well, if you want a copy of Red Dead Redemption, there's about 10 there. Now, just looking at the Spider-Man game there, forget the cover reprint. I absolutely hate that. I detest that top left-hand triangle. Makes me think, I haven't actually started playing Spider-Man 2. I've had it for some time now, and probably put about 15 minutes into it, and that was because my son wanted to play it. I definitely need to jump on that at some point. This one here, Hatsulov, I don't know, I'm not going to butcher it any further. End of Gods, I'm going to call it that. Let me know in the comments what you think of that game, if anyone has played it, if anyone has owned it. It's something I wouldn't mind picking up, but I wasn't really in the market for a PlayStation 5 game today. I've definitely got my mind on just that one particular game, and yeah, that's all I am aiming to come out with unless I see something that really catches my eye. Now, this really annoyed me. At £15, I think this is a really good price for this Pac-Man World game. And I would have picked it up, as that's the sort of price I'm willing to pay. But cover reprint. Ah. Right, let's check out the Nintendo Switch section while we're in here. I've had some good buys on the Switch in this particular branch over the years, and you never know, you've got to dig deep. You might find that one or two obscure titles that might just help build the collection up even more. Now, one thing you are guaranteed with when you go to CEX and you look at the Switch section, there's going to be plenty of Pokemon games. Now, as you can see, sadly, there's not a great deal there that I really want to pick up. All very mainstream and nothing that stands out. Alone in the Dark there at £18, not a bad price, but it's brand new in game for 20. In all honesty, I'd probably rather pick it up from there just to have it brand new. For £2 difference, why not? Now, I'm not familiar with this Transformers game. I do like Transformers games, most of them anyway. Let me know in the comments if you played that one. Is it worth picking up at £8? Now, I'm going to go on record and say this. I think Xbox will be the first company that gets rid of gets rid of physical media. They don't seem to be able to shift physical units these days since the induction of Game Pass. And I think when it inevitably happens, it will be Xbox that says first and foremost, goodbye to physical media. I think they're getting that way anyway. A few decent bits on the OG Xbox there, but nothing I need. And yeah, bit of a restock on the Wii U here. Nothing I need though. I am going for the full set, and it is getting more difficult to find games on the system that I need. Now the Wii section in the Dagenham branch is another section always filled to the brim, and I've had some banging finds here over the years, some very obscure stuff. And like I say, if you watch the channel, you know that's what I'm all about. I like the obscure stuff, and the Wii definitely has got a lot of those titles. You just got to dig deep and you will find some real quality games on that system. It's not all shovelware. Yeah, there's plenty of it, don't get me wrong, but there's so much more to the system than just, you know, absolute sandbox crap. Now I've been on a bit of a 360 tip as of late. I've been playing a lot of my 360 games at home, going through the list of games I'm revisiting, going through games that I just haven't had the time to play, and I'm really enjoying it. It sort of acquainted me again with the original Xbox 360 control pad, which I absolutely love. It's a great feeling to have that thing back in my hands, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the 360. So I wouldn't mind picking up the odd title here and there, but similar to the PlayStation 3, I'm kind of at that stage where it's few and far between finding games that I actually want to add to the collection. Now the Dagenham branch has never had a big GameCube section for whatever reason, and that's no different today. Pretty much the same titles that I always see in here, they don't seem to shift. Now anyway, I did manage to find the game that I was talking about. It's a Tekken game, but it's a Tekken spin-off, and it is Death by Degrees. £28, it has gone down. It was 40, it went down to 35. At £28, and because it's local, I used vouchers to pick this one up today. I'll be honest, I've not heard great things about the game over the year, but let's have a look at some gameplay of Death by Degrees. So it's a 3D beat 'em up game that's in no way similar to the one-on-one fighting games of Tekken. The control scheme, I've been playing it, and it's kind of similar to Rise of Honor, where you use the right stick and the left stick for all of your movements, and that includes your fighting moves. And to be honest with you, visually it looks great. Stylistically, I love everything about this game as I've been playing through it. But the gameplay, it's not great when it's in your hands. The controls do not work like Rise of Honor. The Jet Li PlayStation 2 game, that works a lot better than Death by Degrees, I must say. But I'm still happy to have this one in the collection, as it's a little bit obscure and you don't see it too often, if I'm honest with you. However, saying all of that, I am going to preserve with this game. I'm going to make my way through it, as it's not terrible, it's just not what I anticipated. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. That is the Tekken game that I came out specifically for today. Granted, it's not Tekken as you know it, but it's a game that I've never actually been able to pick up. Death by Degrees, it's a good game. In some ways, it's let down by, in my opinion, janky controls. And also the fact that there was a game out at the same time in Jet Li's Rise of Honor that does the same thing so much better. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.